Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is an alternating pressure mattress and I'm getting ready to replace it because it sprung a leak. If you're taking care of someone that spends a lot of time in bed, it's really necessary to have one of these, especially if they have type 2 diabetes or full-blown diabetes, because you can get pressure ulcers or sores, and they can really become really serious really quickly, especially if you have type 2 or full-blown diabetes. The wound can just expand, and it almost like it feeds on itself. So we first started using this about 2.5 years ago. We got a prescription for it, and it was about a year, and then the first mattress failed, and this is the second mattress, and it just failed about a week ago. And I'm being proactive here. I sort of dropped the ball and trying to get the insurance company get everything in order to have the medical supply company deliver a replacement mattress. And it's becoming a little bit more difficult than it was the last time, where I just called up and they sent it. And what happens is, I think the original prescription can expire, so you have to get everything started again. And yesterday the medical supply company came over, because the first time I called when the first mattress went, and they immediately delivered one, and it's really self-explanatory how to take it and hook it up to the pump. You just have to disconnect the tube, these two tubes here. And how this works is it has all these individual chambers, and every other one here, they'll all get inflated and deflated at the same time, and vice versa for the other two. So what happens is these chambers alternate in inflating and deflating, and it sort of relieves the pressure, so there's not a constant pressure that you would get with someone just, laying down on a regular mattress. It alternates, thus they call it, alternating pressure mattress. So, when the medical supply guy came over, he said, gee, this should have been a repair. As soon as he said that, it sort of jogged my memory, but like most people, I probably took this repair kit and said, oh, I'll put it here where I won't forget where it is, and of course don't remember where it is. But I'm thinking that this was a sort of a specialized piece of equipment, and really nowadays if you do a search on the internet, you can find this equipment. You don't need to go to the medical supply place. And like I said, I'm trying to be proactive here. Finally had the medical supply people come over. I called them a week ago. I called them back after a week went by, and they're like, no recollection of me ever calling, no record of me calling. And you think you're going crazy, because I talked to these people. I had the exact same conversation with the background information that I needed to give them, and they wanted to send someone over, and I said, gee, the last time you just immediately sent something in the mail, why is it a bigger deal? But somebody dropped the ball, so I just went ahead and found out that this is available on Amazon. One thing that you want to think about is there's two types here. There's one that's just this mattress cover, and then there's another version of it that has these extended flaps. It's just without the chambers in them, and those are good to have to tuck underneath the mattress, between the box spring and the mattress, because what happens is, if it's just the other version, it's just cut off right here, and it doesn't grab on anything. And this is vinyl, so it's kind of slick, and it'll slide around even if you have this, the mattress cover on top of this. So it's a good idea to get the one with these flaps on here. They have them on both sides, so you just sandwich that in between the spring and the mattress. And of course, on these medical beds, you don't have a box spring. It's just the washable mattress on top of the frame itself. So, you know, as soon as the guy mentioned the repair kit, it sort of jogged my memory, but I couldn't find it, and I'll probably find it when I'm not even looking for it. But I did find, you know, he mentioned taking some soapy water, and you know, this is alternating pressure, so the pressure's going up and down, so there's a lot of stress, a lot of wear going on, and it's eventually going to fail. So I did find the leak, but I don't have, if I can find it now. Okay, and here it is here. You can see right there. You can hear it. And that's sort of where there's a natural crease. So that just wore. At first I thought, you know, what happens over time, you get it's probably a good idea to take this off occasionally, even though you're cleaning the sheets, because it looks like a lot of debris collects in all these seams. A lot of dust and just looks like particles of sand or whatever people accumulate on themselves as they're going through life, you know, lint and stuff. One of the first things I was thinking about is getting a repair kit myself, and this was a waste of money here because initially I was thinking about a bicycle repair kit, but that's not what you need because this is vinyl. So they do have a Gorilla Tape, but it had mixed reviews, but they do have vinyl repair kits for like inflatable mattresses, so those might work. And again, not with the first mattress, but with the second mattress that I received in the mail, I do recall that there was a repair kit in there. I just don't know where it went. So, long story short, I ordered one off of Amazon and got the next day shipping because, you know, it's been a week and already, you know, like I said, these sores can really get serious very quickly, and bed sore has already developed. So I didn't want to wait any longer, even though it looks like I might eventually get the one through the insurance, the medical supply place. So this is what it looks like. And it's all nice and compact. And even though, I mean, it's pretty heavy duty vinyl, but again, you know, these are alternating pressure in these chambers, the air pressure, 24/7. So it's eventually going to spring a leak, especially when you have an individual, when you have weight on it also. So let me go ahead and take this out of the bag and take the old one off. Now that I have two, I did order a repair kit off of Amazon also for inflatable mattresses. I don't know how long it takes for that stuff to cure. That was another thing, or how long the patch is going to last. So I just went ahead and ordered this. So let me go ahead and hook this up. So let me get this out of the bag here. And yep, so this one actually has a patch kit in it also. I do not know what I did with that. At least I know what to look for. I must have left it in the bag. I wouldn't have used this because I've got the old tubing. So I'll have to look around for that. See where it is. So here's the mattress, you know. Just going to be the exact same thing. So let me take the old one off. So here's the product here. Deluxe pad with end flaps. There's a reference number there. I drive. So I'm just going to, I guess I can just turn this off, turn the pump off, doesn't matter, and just connect. Just pressure fit. I just press on there, and then immediately we'll start deflating. So might want to, maybe I'll put a mark on the leak there so I know where to patch it after I take this off. So I just put a little mark there because I didn't want to put too much ink. I don't know if that would interfere with the patch kit. So just a little black mark there to help me find that later on. You know, I started cleaning off the mattress before I put the alternating pressure pad down, and I realized it's probably a good idea to turn the mattress over and then also turn it 180 degrees. You know, so it's a little bit different from the contact point. You know, so it's not always the same. So here it is laid out, and I have the two hose connections right here on top, same orientation as the previous one. And again, these extra flaps you tuck in underneath so it's not going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. So tuck the flap underneath on both ends. This actually seems kind of wider or longer. So there's no order to this. Just put them on here. When one's inflating, the other one's deflating, and vice versa. So turn the pump on. And you can see it's starting to inflate. So you can see this chamber here and this one have already inflated. It's going to take a while. So this alternating pressure pad was $27 and change, and again, that's something that should be covered by insurance, but in my particular case, sort of dropped the ball, and although eventually I'm going to get it, it's good to be proactive, and I've already waited too long here, and if you've taken care of someone, if you're a caregiver, and the individual spending any considerable amount of time in bed, it's really necessary to have one of these, because you can have very severe complications from bed sores or ulcers that can develop, especially with people with diabetes. It can become very serious very quickly, and for $27 to prevent that, prevent emergency room trip and extended hospital stay or nursing care, it's definitely worth it. And the pumps really aren't that expensive either. They're you know, around $50. You can get a whole system with the mattress, I think, and the pump for, you know, under $100, $80, $90. So that's with the sheet on, or the mattress cover. So I just wanted to share my story. That's my experience with the alternating pressure pads. And in addition, I always use these. These are supposed to be washable, these washable pads here, but also I have these disposable pads for accidents, quick cleanup. And you know, I just realized that the flat width and length of this are going to be longer, and it's going to seem like it doesn't fit, for this particular case, a twin mattress. But as this inflates, those dimensions will shorten up, because as these chambers fill up, it pulls in the length and the width. So that's alternating pressure mattress with the pump. really necessary for people who spend a considerable amount of time in bed. Yeah, even with that, you're supposed to prop pillows under them, alternating the hips, so they're not laying in one position more than 20 minutes, which is really, that's a lot of work, and a lot of times the patient or the individual doesn't like to do that either, depending on their disability. So this really is a necessary piece of equipment to start off with, is the alternating pressure mattress. So thanks for watching.